Hi, I'm SantyDark. Shit. I'm too tired for this, man. Fuck this. Too fucking tired. God damn it. Hi, I'm SantyDark, and this is the making of Outworld Skykeeper.
He is the new Skykeeper. He has been chosen to protect his life from evil hands.
Once again, I wanted to try a different format for the making of video and try to make it more entertaining or interesting to watch. So instead of being 10 minutes of me just talking, this time it's going to be 8. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to put here randomly some takes that I recorded during the actual process of making the album. What is Outworld? Medieval Orden, basically. You may already know this, but I don't always write a story for making an Outworld album. The Pirates albums, for example, are just a collection of songs that are just random tales of an undead pirate crew, and none of those are actually connected by any specific story. Same goes with the Vikings one, Warriors of the North. However, with Skykeeper, I wanted to go back to doing something similar to what I did with the album Legendary. Write a story first and then start working on the album based on that. The process is super fun. Having a story to follow during the songwriting process helps me a lot to be inspired and lets me be super focused with my ideas. What I'm going to read to you right now is the exact story as I wrote it before start working on the album. Skykeeper tells the story of Mateo, son of 2 angels named Dia and Aelus, who have been kidnapped and killed by the evil dark forces of Navath, who wanted to prove power among Luminos, the Order of Light, an army of angels with the purpose of protecting the sky from evil, guided by the divine god Mofles. This tragic event happened when Mateo was only a child. Since then, Mateo got rejected from the Order of Light because his heart wasn't pure anymore. The tragedy left a stain that changed his nature as an angel and filled his soul with wrath and desire for vengeance. He was an abomination. He didn't belong to neither heaven nor hell. A corrupted angel who contains enough hate power to erase an entire army or even a god. But while being an unexperienced kid, he didn't know he had such power and much less how to use it. Knowing this, and in an attempt of taking advantage from it, both heaven and hell agreed in send soldiers and creatures to kill him. Boutren, a noble warrior once friend of Mateo's father, realized this unholy plan and decided to give up his role as protector of the skies in order to protect Mateo, guide him and train him to be strong enough to defend himself against the dark forces. Years have passed and Mateo learned to suppress the evil from his heart. With the help of Boutren, he became a warrior of pure light. The Order of Light saw his potential and offered him to become the new Skykeeper. But during this, Gloth, leader of Navath, made a sudden appearance and killed Mofles, and sent the Navath to invade the sky. After a long colossal fight between the Order of Light and the evil dark forces of Navath, Mateo remembered the murder of his parents and got possessed by wrath. But instead of fighting against himself to repel it, he decided to use it in a last desperate attempt of protecting the few remaining angels in sky, and struck with a vicious and magical sword swing that defeated Gloth and erased the entire forces of Navath. This attack changed everything, since it proved that the light was not a divine power concealed only by the god Mofles, but it was actually a secret formula that he discovered and kept in secret for eons that consisted in self-acceptance. The only requirement for Mateo to defeat the forces of Nabad was to accept his dark side, accept himself, and learn to combine and use both dark and light sides and use that power willingly, only when needed. Since then, Mateo has been named the new Skykeeper, the supreme protector of the skies. Some may say, oh, this is Christian metal. No, it's not. If you're looking for that, I'm sorry to tell you that you're looking in the wrong place. If you have been paying attention to the ending of the album, the overall message is don't believe in any god, believe in yourself. Yes, there's a lot of religion concepts involved and words like faith, light, might, but it's all being used in a more fantasy context. Mophless, who was the god of all divine, was the one who agreed the pact to join forces with Nabath and send both angels and demons to hunt down Mateo because he was afraid of his power. The message here is, don't pray to any god because that god could betray you and be the reason of your ruin. If you have faith, put that into yourself. You alone have enough power to be your own god and change the world at your own will. This album is all about life. We all are angels until some demons do bad stuff to us, and then we stop being angels and start blaming ourselves for not being that anymore. Instead of accepting that when bad stuff happens to us, we change. And we are supposed to. Self-acceptance makes us stronger. And when you achieve that strength, you realize that you are no angel nor demon. You are just you.
As the pendulum continues its eternal speed, we'll follow its lead through thick and thin. The hands of destiny in motion, guiding us with cryptic devotion.
The tone of the album it's actually pretty serious and dark and gritty, in comparison with the previous ones at least. The story is super tragic, dramatic and sad. There's a lot of deaths involved. This album is very vocal driven, not only my vocals but also choirs, monk chants, church singing and stuff.
Inau gumbau ni bau bazal. 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 Inau gumbau ni bau bazal.
On the instrumental side, this has less folk or Celtic instruments than the previous albums, and it's more focused on orchestral stuff instead. Lots of violins, trumpets, woodwinds, and these like big epic percussion ensembles. Also there's harps, piano, organ, tower bells like those for example in the song Shadows of the Pendulum, glockenspiel. I mean, there's a lot of extra elements incorporated here. It's just that instead of being Celtic stuff, it's orchestral. There are exceptions because, of course, I love Celtic stuff and I can't stay away from it too much. The song Last Strike has some kind of a Celtic harp. In fact, I should say that this song is the only one that actually feels like classic Outworld. Sounds like it comes from the first album, Altered Mythologies. Alright, so I have some questions from a dude for Leut. Let's read them. Hey Santi, first one. Which guitar plugins do you use to record guitar parts and which drum plugin for drums? Sound production getting better and better, probably your mastering skill leveled up with every next project. Thank you very much, man. You're going to be very surprised by my answer with this, but it's actually the same production than the previous ones, with the exception of the kick drum. I changed the kick drum with a different one and I made some adjustments to make it fit in the mix. And yeah, that's the only change, but actually in metal music the kick drum is super important, so even a subtle change as that can make the whole thing sound pretty different. So yeah, I think that made the sound different. But which guitar plugins and drum plugins? I actually use the same ones as before. Guitar plugin is Shreddish, and for drums the Addictive Drums and Perfect Drums for cymbals. Second question. And how you may describe the unifying idea for this album, Skykeeper. Every Outworld album had it, since Mythologies for Altered Mythologies, Medieval Fantasy for Legendary, Northman Scandinavic Folklore for Warriors of the North, and Pirates Adventures for Pirates 1 and 2. Very nice question, man. That's a great question. And I don't even know if I have a straight answer to that one, because I think this album is the most fantasy-induced one. There's actually Greek mythology involved in this album, at least by the names that I chose for the characters involved in the story. Sorry. For example, you have Botren, you have Mophless, and Dia, Aelus, not Mateo. Mateo sounds very out of that, but even maybe Gloth. All these names have like a Greek mythology vibe, kind of. Even in the images that I chose for setting everything up, the music videos and stuff, there's Greek mythology decorations like structures, and the environment gives a lot of that vibe. So I could maybe say that is Greek mythology, but it's also not. It's like it's its own thing. I will say it's more like celestial fantasy, like fantasy. I don't really have a way to describe it, a unifying idea. Yeah, holy shit. I don't know, man. That's a really good question, and I don't think I have a straight answer for it. But thank you very much for leaving these questions for Leut. I think these are great questions, and thank you also very much for for the compliment on the production. It really means a lot to me. I'm always very worried about getting it the best I can and make everything sound as perfect as I can in the mix. So you saying that to me actually means a lot. Thank you very much. Alright, it's time to reveal the song list. This is a long ass album, guys, at least in comparison with the previous ones. I think it's not as long as the Legendary album, but it's close. It will be like an hour. So the first song is an intro called As Gates to Heaven Open. The second one, Mothless, God of All Divine, Tragedy in Luminous, Mateo the Impure, Shadows of the Pendulum, Rejection, Shadowbound Prophecy, Boatren the Savior, Enlightened as New, Dinabath Invade, Last Strike, and Skykeeper. I may include also as a final bonus track only in YouTube, Layers of Grey. Remember that song that I revealed along with the concept of the album? That song was actually pretty outdated, and I reconstructed it with the new production that this album has. It now sounds like it's part of the album, but actually it's not. It's like an extra alternative ending, let's say. Yeah, it's just an extra song that I may add only on YouTube, because it's not officially part of the album.
Tragedy luminous, tragedy luminous, tragedy
The last thing I'm going to say is that there is going to be one more official music video released before I upload the full album here. So this is going to be for the song Shadowbound Prophecy, the 7th one.
Wings of redemption, fate restored. Wings of redemption, fate restored. Wings of redemption, fate restored. A voice whisper, now is your time to break all your curses, to fight along Boatren.